welcome back to the Woman to Woman Show. And I'm here having so much fun talking to Nicole Thompson about our beautiful foster children and recruiting new foster parents, which is what we're here to do. Not that we're high pressure or anything here. You're not at all. And you know, I just wanted to, in case people didn't hear a little bit about the first part, do you have a number of how many children approximately are in foster care right now in the state of Oregon?
On any given day, there are just over 8,000 children in foster care in Oregon.
Wow. So the need for families has to be huge.
It is immense.
And then how many of those are eligible for adoption and waiting right now?
In Oregon, there are around 200 children who are waiting for adoption.
And that's, are quite a few concentrated into the, Portland metro area, or is it all? Yeah. Okay, so the families that are going to be hearing our show have a good chance of being able to get one of these beautiful children.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Now, do you have to have been a foster parent before in order to adopt?
No.
Okay, so either can.
Yes.
Oh, good. You can just zoom right in with adoption if that's what you're called to do. Then
absolutely.
Go ahead. You want to hear from those people. Okay. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Well, I just want to move on with seeing these beautiful children and hear about who's next.
All right. So our next grouping is actually a sibling group of 3. It's Aprawana, Lawrence, and Chessa. And Aprawana is a 9-year-old who has a great sense of humor. She loves to be the center of attention.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that.
She's a very resilient young lady. She loves to read. She likes to ride on her scooter and play with her friends. And she's very helpful around the house, so very exciting. Lawrence has a great smile and bright eyes. And he's 8 years old. He's a little bit shy, a good little middle child. He's very polite and curious by nature. He finds his big sister to be quite fun and funny. He loves video games and to work on projects, so he's a fun little guy.
Oh, cute.
And then the youngest is Chessa. She's 4 years old. She's very cute. She has a wonderful smile and bright eyes. She likes to spend a lot of time with her siblings, so it's really great that we're looking to recruit a family who can take all 3 of these beautiful children. So anyone who's considering adopting this grouping of children needs to have reasonable expectations for them and their development. They'll have to be strong advocates for these kiddos in school and to work with other professionals to assure that their needs are being met.
They are absolutely adorable.
Aren't they
and
cute?
I'm so grateful that you work so hard to keep siblings together. I mean, as a mom of many children, I can only hope that, you know, in the event I couldn't care for my children, that somebody would care enough to know how important that was for them to have each other.
Yes.
And I really appreciate the extra effort it has to take for you to really try for that so hard. And I'm sure those children will always know how lucky they were that someone fought for them to stay together. Yeah. That's really wonderful that you do that, and I know the right family will be called to have them all, and I hope so. They're darling, but they're all so cute.
Yes,
okay.
They are.
Who else have we got?
So let's talk about little Mason, who is the cutest little 2-year-old.
I love that name too.
I know.
Yeah.
And all of these kids, as you can see, have the cutest little smile. So I might just skip that because they're just absolutely adorable. He does enjoy laughing quite a bit, though. Cute little guy. He is not currently talking, but he is responsive to his caregivers. He likes to give smiles. He loves to snuggle up and love on his caregivers. Mason requires around-the-clock care and very close supervision. He's going to need a family who's going to be patient and loving towards him through his developmental stages. And they'll also be a family who needs to stay pay close attention to his medical needs. So yeah.
Just scoop him up. That's what I want to do.
I know. Absolutely, me too.
I can imagine.
So cute.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, hello, Mason.
Absolutely. So, and shall we talk about one more
yes,
then? Okay. Well, let's talk about Brianna and Kimberly, a very cute other sibling set of two. So Kimberly's 8 years old, and she has the cutest little brown eyes. She likes to be active and engaged in sports, which is quite fun.
Definitely.
She likes board games and to just plain be silly. So quite a fun young lady. And Brianna is 7 years old. She likes outdoor activities. She's in swimming lessons, and she also is quite the talker. So good fun.
I love that.
So these kiddos are also going to enjoy a home where the family is very active and they have a very good and solid routine and schedule that they can adhere to with the girls.
Oh, that's good to know.
But these kids will bring a lot of life to your family.
Yes,
so
you won't be bored.
You will not be bored.
Oh, isn't that? They're darling. They're just darling.
I know. We're very fortunate to be able to talk about such cute kids today.
I agree.
So
who have we got next?
Well, yes, you can see we have a lot of sibling groups who are in need of those adoptive placements. So right now we're going to talk about Jesus, Savannah, and Shania. So Jesus, as you can see, is quite the handsome young man. He's an energetic 7-year-old who really likes a lot of attention. He's got a lot to say. He thrives on one-on-one time. He likes board games, playing with his action figures. He likes to swim, ride his bike, and he's happiest when he's running and active. So Savannah is the cutest little 5-year-old girl ever. She has a strong and affectionate relationship with her sister. She enjoys playing with dolls and riding her bike, skipping, hopping, reading. She's just do-it-all kind of girl. So,
wonderful.
Yes, and then she also likes to keep a very neat and tidy room. So, and she has a lot of pride in that. I know.
I need to learn that.
Me too.
Okay.
Got a lot of lessons from a young lady like this.
Okay.
So, and then Cheyenne is 4 years old. And she likes to be the boss of everybody. So very good little youngest sister.
Cute.
She likes music, dancing. She's into that little cheerleading, Barbie dolls, books. She likes it all. So, and she really likes to learn new things. So she's going to be a fun one to play with.
What personalities.
So, I know.
Oh, that's adorable. Well, you know, let's talk for a few minutes before we have couple more little kiddos. Before we meet the others, I want to talk about some reasons people hesitate that might be out there, and you know they've just heard that some things would be too hard about becoming a foster parent, and you hear all of these all the time.
Absolutely.
So if you could just kind of throw those out there, and we can just talk about them.
I sure can.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one that comes up for people is the worry about it's got to be so hard to give them back once you've cared on them, loved on them, really incorporated them into your home and your life, which is what we really want foster parents to do for these kids, right?
Someone to love them.
Yes, and help nurture them through probably the toughest time they're going to have. And if you ask any foster parent who's done this for any length of time, they will say that it is the most rewarding job.
They do.
And that, yes, of course it's hard to give them back. But when you see the great lengths that parents go to, the changes that children make, you know that you have done a phenomenal job of really changing a life for a child and their entire family. So
I'm so glad to hear that, and I don't doubt it for a minute. And you know, for those in the audience that come from a strong faith background, which a lot do, you know, I would just say I believe that God will give you the grace to then the strength to do what you're called to do, and whether whether that's a part of your life or it isn't, there is strength that comes to you when you help someone that you need. You don't know necessarily how it gets there, but it gets there to you. And don't you find that people are able to do things they never thought they were able to do, and the strength, amazing strength, comes to you when you help somebody, and it's just, it's wonderful. It's so empowering. It's not depleting. It's strengthening.
Absolutely.
To love a child, and of course you do worry. My heart's going to get broken, you know, and that's a valid,
right.
But you can't let that stop you, right? You just get in there and help these kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've got to get the feedback that feels so good to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And I think some people have concerns that these children entered foster care because they've done something in the community, or they've been bad. The child themselves has been bad. And the truth is that the greatest majority of children who enter the foster care system enter foster care because they've been victims of abuse or neglect, and are not able to be safe at home.
Yes.
So there isn't a plan that can be created to keep them safe at home. So these are kids who of course, are going to have emotional responses to being separated from their family, and sometimes being separated from their siblings. But foster parents get a lot of training before children enter their home, and then they get ongoing training and.
So you're not all alone out there,
right?
You have a support network to rely on to help you through it.
Correct.
That's great, because I mean, people might think, wow, I go pick them up and then it's all up to me. I have to have all the answers, and you don't.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and I think another concern that people have when they're looking into foster care is the parent coming to my house? Are they going to come and take the child? Or, and the way that contact works with children and their parents is they have supervised contact, typically that begins at our child welfare office.
In another office. Okay.
Supervised by one of our workers. And then visitation can change over time, where kids get more frequent visits, lower levels of supervision, and any contact that a foster parent has with a with the family or the birth family is really guided by the caseworker in communication with the foster parent about whether it meets the child's needs.
It's through the work, the structure of the state happening.
Correct.
You're not going to. Okay, that's a good point. I'm really glad. Oh, I'm so sorry we're out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, those other little darlings were coming back, right? You can't go anywhere. We're going to feature them next. And I want to give the contact information one more time. Fosterораdopt.com. If you're a website person, if you're a pick up the phone kind of person, 1-800-331-0503. Just call and see what you can do. And we forgot to say, but you can help in lots of ways. You don't have to be ready to do it all. You can help in little ways, which we just didn't get to yet, but we will.
Oh, great.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for coming, and I really hope your phone rings off the hook.
It will, and I thank you for letting us come on and talk about this great topic.
Our honor.